Before time was measured, before the world became loud, there was a remembering written in your soul. A remembering of who you are beneath the roles, the striving, the forgetting. There comes a time when the veil thins and the old ways of living no longer fit. You feel it as a pull, a quiet ache, a knowing that something ancient within you is ready to awaken. This is the path of alignment. Alignment is not effort, it is remembrance. When you align, your intuition sharpens like a flame, your energy settles into your body, your life begins to move in rhythm with the unseen. The Moon Goddess training is a sacred initiation into this remembrance. Through the Akashic records, the timeless field of soul memory, you journey beyond time and space into the ancient temples of the Nile. As you enter them, something within you unlocks. Layers dissolve, old wounds soften, your inner sight opens. You remember how to listen, how to trust, how to move through life, guided rather than forced. This is the return of the aligned woman, rooted in her body, open in her heart, clear in her knowing. She no longer searches outside herself, she remembers the way. If your soul is listening now, this is your invitation. The Moon Goddess training begins soon, and the path opens the moment you say yes.
Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind. This is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Welcome to our astrology, gene keys, and human design reading for the full moon in Leo that is happening on February 1st, which is this Sunday. So I have been feeling the energy heightening and becoming a little bit louder. And like last night, I didn't go to sleep until 2 a.m. It's things like that have been going on. I'm like, okay, this Leo full moon is like really strong. I can feel it already. Just now I went outside, brought the dogs back in and looked at the moon, and it is already like glowing bright. My mom today was telling me how like, oh my God, did you see the moon last night? And I was like, okay, this moon is already talking to us. And obviously full moons heighten the energy and especially our emotions. Now, I love the Leo moons because I have a Leo moon in my chart. I like love my Leo moon. So this energy feels exciting, inviting, and it's going to be really powerful when I show you the astrology, the gene key, and the human design gate that this is happening on, how beautiful this is. So if you've never been to this broadcast, the way that this works is I'll show you the astrology chart on the screen. I'll talk about the astrology first. I'll talk about the ruling energies of the moon, like where it's happening. I will go over the gene key, the human design. We'll go over the gene keys, and then I'm going to read towards the end from the gene keys book about the 33rd gene key, which is where this moon is happening. I'll read the Siddhic frequency. And the reason I do that is because I want us to think about, like, tune into the highest potential energy, the highest vibrational energy that transcends duality. That's why I always focus on the Siddhi. But obviously, each gene key has a shadow and a gift. And so you may be expressing, or people in the world might be expressing the shadow of the gene key. And the goal is transmuting that shadow into the gift, and then eventually transcending both into the Siddhic frequency. So we focus on the Siddhic, the divine energy that we are being invited into, that the portal is inviting us into. So make sure before we dive into anything, I want to share a couple things. So make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. That's literally the only way to get the algorithm going and suggesting this video to other people to grow the community. I ask especially if you enjoy the content, that you make sure that you always give the video a thumbs up and that you leave a comment below. And so I'll ask you, the comment that I want you guys to put below is, you can do this later on, but it's, what was the coolest thing that you found out about this Leo full moon? Like, what are you most excited about this Leo full moon, especially after having listened to all the information? Also, I make sure to subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. We have a private community and on Mighty Networks, and I want to invite you to join our community. And in this community, I host these events. I create events, and you can RSVP to them, add them to your calendar. This is a place where if you enjoy, this type of content, you'll meet other people that also enjoy this type of content. There's over 800 people in there right now. Like, that's crazy, right? It's really exciting. I was like, wow. And it's a great place to be in contact with me also, because there's like private messaging in the community. There's like group chats. There's, you can post and share things as well. It's kind of like our own little private Facebook. But you can be connected to everything that I offer, including all my courses and workshops and things like that. I also have a newsletter, and every week on Wednesday, I send out a moon magic report. You can get access to that by downloading my free moon astrology guide, which is going to tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And when you register to download that, it adds you to my email list, and then you'll start receiving the moon magic report every Wednesday. Okay. I want to say hi to everybody that is here. Hello, Lish. Welcome in. Hello, Courtney. Thank you for being here. Hello, Dawn. Hey, babe. Hello, Kate. I can't remember your name, Spider, but I'm just going to call you Spider because I like that name. But thank you guys all for being here. If you are here watching live, say hi in the chat. I love the live chat interaction. And again, if you're watching the replay, please leave a comment below. I want to just start by, I'm going to share my screen, and there's a couple of things that I'm very, very excited about that I want to share. One of them is, of course, the Moon Goddess Training, which begins February 17th of 2026, which is literally the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. It is the beginning of the Chinese New Year, the lunar calendar, lunar New Year of the fire horse. I mean, this is going to be a powerful portal to activate our journey through the Moon Goddess Training. Ashley and I did a video on Wednesday where we covered everything that level 1 includes. And I want to encourage you to watch that video. We're going to do another live this coming week, and then another one the week after that. And each time we're going to cover a different level. So if you have no idea what the Moon Goddess Training is, it's an online training, and it is called, another descriptive phrase is the Akashic Priestess Path. So it's a 3-part series with the end goal of actually getting a certification to read the Akashic records. But it's so much more than that. The 3 levels basically guide you through a journey. In level 1, you're learning the fundamentals of how the Akashic records work, what they are. And we do this as we travel, as we journey through the mystery schools of ancient Atlantis. And in Wednesday's broadcast, we actually talked in detail about all of the things that you're going to learn in this 10-week level 1 program. It's phenomenal. Like the amount of information. It's both like activating your mind. It's teaching you about like the history. It's activating your body. You're doing a 40-day Kundalini practice. You're like integrating everything. We're also going into the Akashic records, literally going back in time into the temples and having experiences in the temples. And these sessions, these journeys are gentle guided hypnosis journeys. So it's kind of like a past life regression in a way. And they're so powerful. And the students that have graduated from the class, absolutely, like level 1 was their favorite. Level 2, we're taking a lot of the things that we learn and we're beginning to apply it more deeply into our personal life. Level 2 focuses on relationships and on healing trauma, childhood trauma, and also starting to play around with activating our unique, like intuitive and psychic gifts, which we all have. And you learn all about that in level 1. And then level 3 is the official certification program where you actually begin to practice doing readings on each other. So it's a year long. And I recommend signing up for all 3 levels and doing it all in 1 year. You will not be the same person at the end of 2026. I can promise you that if you sign up for this program. Every time, women are just blown away by how powerful this is. The community that we get to experience together is like nothing like I've ever experienced before. This program has been going on since 2022, and every year it gets better and better. And this year with the eclipse, we always start on a new moon, but with the eclipse, it's gonna be off the charts. And I do have a special, I call it the super deal, where you can buy all 3 levels, but you only pay for 2 of them. So all 3 for the price of 2. It's buy 2, get 1 free. Unheard of deal. And I have a payment plan available for that as well. I actually updated the site to include the payment plan option. So if you're ready to go, there it is. You don't have to call me and ask me about it. It's right there, ready to go. You can go through the link in the description of this video and go deeper into all of the detailed information about the program, about all of the 3 levels. It's very extensive. And so going through this information is going to be important so you know exactly what you're getting into because it's no joke. And I have literally all the dates. The level 2 and level 3 are tentative dates, but that's my general idea of when these things are going to happen. But level 1 is set. Those are basically the dates that everything's going to be happening. It's all on here, and it is a phenomenal program. Let's read one of these reviews. I've thought for a long time something was wrong with me, because I cycle through friendships, jobs, emotions, partners, situations, spiritual journeys, travels, that I had a restlessness about me that seemed unsatisfied. And now I've come to learn that's part of my 1-3 human design, that I am investigating and that I'm here to adventure and experience. So now I have a lot more grace with how I handle endings and letting things die, just like the seasons. And that is probably one of the greatest gifts I can ever hold on to and let die when it's ready to. Haha. I love that I kind of landed upon this one. This is such a good one because one thing I didn't mention is you're learning your jinkies, you're learning your human design, you're learning your astrology in this program. It's comprehensive. Watch the video that we did on Wednesday to get all the info about that. Okay. That's one thing. The other thing, I'm really excited because I am hosting a special workshop. I know you can't fully see the words here, but maybe I can adjust this for just a moment so you can just see just the words there. Okay. So I'm hosting a workshop. It's called Your Hero's Journey. And it is all about looking into Neptune entering into Aries and Saturn entering into Aries and then conjuncting together. So that is a threshold that we're stepping into. The conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries is going to be the most powerful activation. And we're moving in that direction. The actual conjunction happens after we have the solar eclipse. So we have this activated solar eclipse. And then a few days later, I believe it's on the 20th, we have the actual conjunction. And that is such an important thing to know about. We're going to study this conjunction in this workshop. We're going to look at what the Neptune and Saturn conjunction in Aries truly means. We're going to learn why 0 degrees of Aries is such a potent initiation point. We're going to learn how this activation is going to unfold collectively and personally. I'm going to show you and teach you how to look at where it is in your chart, where it's happening in your chart, and what it's asking of you. And because the conjunction is happening on the 25th Jinki, and because you know me, I'm a Jinkies girl, we're going to study the 25th Jinki and the 25th gate and look at where that is happening in our chart as well. Where is this activation calling us forward? And how this, energy is going to reframe this moment as a return to love and authenticity. I can't wait. The workshop is $44. So, super affordable. I wanted just to make it so affordable so everybody could just come and we can hang out together. It's going to be in Zoom, and you'll get an opportunity to ask questions live and all that good stuff. There's going to be a replay. So that is the magique. And I'm very excited about it. So, let me now want to share a different screen, which is this one. So let's dive into this full moon in Leo. So the full moon is happening on February 1st, 2026. It's happening at 13 degrees, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, depending on like where you looked at it's like slightly changes, but 13 degrees, 4 minutes of Leo. It is activating the Ursa Major Stargate, which I'll talk about in a minute what that means. It is activating the solar plexus chakra, which is all about like willpower. The system of the body it's activating is the digestive system. So this is an energy that's going to ask us to digest things, to like look at, are you digesting things properly or not? Because it's like, how are you processing everything? That is the focus of the digestive system. And again, I mentioned it, but it's the 33rd gene key and the 33rd gate, and it's line 6, which is a very evolved energy. It's an energy that's looking for what's next, looking into the future, looking at, the like what's coming. And what's cool is that this full moon is actually going to initiate eclipse season, and that's really significant. So let's take a look at the chart of the moon. Okay, so here you go. We know that we've had this like powerful Aquarius stellium going on for like, and since the sun entered Aquarius. The sun is going to be at 13 degrees. The moon is going to be at 13 degrees. A full moon, they're always opposing each other. The Ursa Major Stargate that this moon is activating, it's an energy of like it's pure light energy, first of all. There's a planet, when I remember studying about the Ursa Major Stargates, I learned about this planet called Liakish, which is a planet that's kind of like an in-between worlds. When a soul is getting ready to incarnate on Earth, it goes to Liakish, and it's a planet of pure light. So it's kind of like healing and basking in light before you're like ready to like incarnate. Or in between lives, you would go to Liakish and rest. I mean, so it's kind of cool. Like they're inviting us that it kind of reminds me of like the Four of Swords a little bit. Like just chill, or like go get a massage, or like go get light therapy. Like this is an invitation into that. Like bask in the light, in the healing light, and especially of the sun, because Leo is ruled by the sun. So of course the sun is not happy, not in his favorite sign in Aquarius, but Aquarius is where we begin to change things up. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, right? Uranus is leading the charge here in Aquarius season, taking us into innovation, renovation, exciting new things. In fact, Uranus goes direct in between this full moon and the new moon annular solar eclipse in Aquarius that happens 2 weeks later. So all the planets here in Aquarius are making the Aquarius energy kind of heavy. Okay, so it's like the moon's like over here kind of all by itself, like has to hold it down. What I think is cool is the 13th degree. But we've had already a couple moons. We're going to have more moons at 13 degrees, full moons. And they are, according to what I learned from Christopher Witecki, and I love to share this insight because I just think it's so freaking cool. And I'm still in the process of learning the step astrology system, but It's fascinating to me. The number 13 basically adds up to 4, which is Uranus. So it's like really interesting because the moon is in the opposite sign of Aquarius where Uranus rules, but it's at 13, which is Uranus frequency. So it's activating the power of Uranus through the energy of Leo, which is the heart, which is love, which is devotion, which is like passion, creativity, the inner child. And the number 4 and Uranus are both about like things are changing. We're stepping into something totally new. That is added here. Essentially, it's like the 1 and the 3 come together. So the 1 is the sun, the energy of the sun, which just means I love. So it's like, what do you love? And then the 3 is I believe. This is Jupiter. So it's like I love and I believe. So how do you align yourself here? Well, as I understand it, you ask your heart what it wants, and then you step into like the full immersion of this through your sense of like knowing and believing that it is here, that it will manifest. And it'll manifest, but it'll ask you to change and transform in some way. And I think that's just super, super cool. I love Leo energy, like I said, is amazing. So most of what's happening is just like this opposition, right? Mercury, the mind, Venus, are what we truly desire, our values, the sun, our soul, Mars, our drive and motivation, and Pluto, our power. They're all in Aquarius. So everything is about the new world. We got to think new. We got to think differently. We got to innovate through the mind and ideas. We have to revisit like what's truly important for us now. Like maybe what was important before isn't important anymore. We have to think like when we act, focus on like the future. Like where are you going? You know? But this is about progress. It's a powerful frequency of progress and like evolution. And then Pluto is like the power lies here. The power lies in the new world. It's very important. All of these themes are very, very like they're super highlighted right now because the moon's not really making any aspects to anything else. There is a sextile within Mercury, right? Some of the planets here are within orb sextiling Chiron. So this Aquarius stellium bringing in a reminder of the importance of healing our individual self. Chiron in Aries is the insecurity or the fear that we don't have an identity, that we don't know who we are, we don't know why we're here. Collectively, we're working on that. And I mean, you can definitely see that in the collective. But it's a gentle nudge to go in the direction of healing, to continue to find ways, new ways, Aquarius, of understanding who you are and why you're here. Neptune is now officially in Aries. Not going to go back into Pisces, so we're done with that. Thank God. But Saturn is still in Pisces. He hasn't yet entered into Aries. That will happen in a little bit. These two, however, specifically Saturn, they're sextiling Uranus. So if Saturn represents determination and devotion, I love saying devotion with Saturn, because when you truly believe in something, when you truly like, you've set your goals, you know where you're going, you have clarity about that. You've already asked yourself and tuned in with your heart. You've already put your desire into a protective womb, a bubble that will protect it as you go through your journey. You've already like aligned your feelings. You've already like received it, allowed it to come into your life. You know that you belong, in this beautiful, like with this beautiful manifestation that you're wanting. And you feel it, you've decided, you're just going. This is a gentle reminder that it's good to devote yourself to something new and exciting, and that you should. And maybe they're inviting us to do that, but also saying, there's going to be things that unexpectedly change And we just need to be okay with that. Jupiter is over here in Cancer, and I guess kind of within, not exactly, but kind of within, making a trine to that Saturn. So, but Jupiter, did I say Pluto? I meant Jupiter. Jupiter magnifies everything that he touches. So he's magnifying the frequency of emotion. Jupiter is kind of in a weird place right now. Everyone else is like doing something else, and Jupiter is over here in Cancer, like It's a little interesting. It could be a little awkward, but I think he's teaching us to become emotionally intelligent, to understand the deeper layers of feeling and emotion, and that you can't escape your feelings. In fact, feelings and emotions are the catalyst for opening the doors for us to manifest. So they're our friends. Emotions and feelings are our friends, but emotions can be heightened when Jupiter is in freaking Cancer. And the focus of this is like, well, are you nurturing yourself? Are you taking care of yourself, your family? Like family, home and family is insecurity is a big part of the energy of Cancer. So all that's going on. So there's just a little bit of awkward energy, but it's activating also because, so I mentioned this already, but this moon essentially ushers us into eclipse season. And it's significant because not next year, the next set of eclipses in August, there's going to be a new moon total solar eclipse in Leo near the same degree. And the totality will be seen in Egypt. Like overall the pyramid. So there's a connection between this full moon and the new moon eclipse in Leo that's coming in August. It's like there's a journey that we're going to be traveling from now until then. And then it's like the new journey will begin then. So do you have anything like around here, And then more specifically, like, do you have anything in the frequency of the 33rd Jinki and the 33rd gate in human design? So let's talk a little bit about that. And the reason why, we bring all this in is because we want a well-rounded understanding of what this is really about. So 33rd Jinki, anybody have the 33rd Jinki in their chart? This Jinki goes from the shadow of forgetting to the gift of mindfulness to the city of revelation. It's literally called the Final Revelation. It's part of the codon ring of trials. So let's read about that one. If you don't know what the codon rings are, they're groupings that the Jinkies group together into like stories, archetypes. The ring of trials. The 3 Jinkies that make up this unique codon group are related to what science terms the stop or terminator codons, behaving as a seal. Wow, so this moon is a seal that closes up the places where we leak energy. I'm down. Thank you, please. Yes, please. Such chemical punctuation marks have an unusual role of importance within the totality of the genetic code itself. When activated, this codon ring begins to unplug humanity from the illusory world of the outer senses. Wow. On a purely archetypal level, the 3 stop codons of this ring of trials lay out the great dramatic script of evolution itself, testing human beings on their road to self-realization. So we're on the road to self-realizations, going through our trials. Wow. Every human awakening must arouse the hero or heroine inside, and that inner being must face its mythical trials. But this is why I'm calling my workshop Your Hero's Journey, because this energy is really active right now. If I pull up the human design chart, which is also interesting to look at, we have the moon on the 33rd gate, which is a gate in the throat center, which tells us that it has to do with expression. Like there's something about expressing something, expressing ourselves. Well, I mean, it's the moon, so it's like expressing our emotions. But when I mean expressing through the throat center, I mean speaking our truth. I mean manifesting that kind of expression. Like it births itself into reality, into the world. So the 33rd gate is called the gate of privacy, which is so interesting. It's different, like different frequency than the jinky one. It's the same energy, but the descriptions are very different. So the gate of privacy, and I'll show you. And if you have this in your, it will be right here in the throat center. If you have this in your chart, take note, because it's being really highlighted by the full moon. This is people who need regular time alone in order to reflect on the past. Oh, this is also the sensing circuit, which is about not knowing that you will never have the clarity that you want in the moment to know why this is happening. But if you like sit and wait, your clarity will arrive once the experience has completed itself, and you can look back and be like, oh, now I know why that happened. These people have the power to express the experiences of the sensing circuit. However, they need to withdraw into their privacy in order to process their experiences. They are symbolized by the archetype of the wise storyteller, a person who can always share all sides of an experience as well as show us what we might learn from it. The storyteller here is different from the 56, which is more about the stirring up of others' emotions. The purpose of the 33 is to reveal the underlying secrets or lessons behind any experience. So this moon is actually going to help us reveal the underlying secrets or lessons behind our experiences right now. That's amazing. These people can be powerful orators, writers, and teachers. By dint of their design, they have to understand that they are supposed to become more influential as they get older and mature their wisdom through many, many cycles. Does anybody have the 13 gate? Because if you have the 13, then you have the channel of the prodigal activated. Every cycle of experience in your life will make sense in the end. This is what you are here to learn over and over again. The deeper you experience this insight, the more patient and relaxed you will become with the way things are going in the now. Oh, I love that. It's also teaching us to be present. These people are here to pass on the wisdom of individual experience to others. Their emphasis in life is to learn from hindsight and pass on what they have learned so that others do not have to make the same mistakes. For these people, the past is always important. Whether they are historians, comedians, or politicians, these people are natural record keepers. This can be seen in any number of things, from keeping photo albums to accounts or diaries. You know who has this channel or this energy? Matias. People with this channel often hear and know more than they let on. They have a profound memory for certain information. Like, we're going to remember shit, you guys. In an organization, these are people to ask if you need to know what's going on beneath the surface. Ooh. Because of these gifts are often sought out as leaders. There you go. There's also, if you notice down here, we've got the ego center is defined. We've got the solar plexus defined, and we've got the root defined. So the two channels that make up this energy are, well, this one is the channel of community, right? So the nodes, north node on the 37, south node on the 40, activating the frequency of community and like working together, like tribal energy. And then the 19 and the 49, which is the channel of synthesis, that's where the sun is. and then Mercury and Venus. So this is like on the other side of this moon, you have these planets on this channel, the 1949. So let's read into this 1949 energy. Okay. 19 is people whose material and emotional needs require successful interaction with others. So again, this is all tribal circuitry. So there's a lot of tribal energy being activated right now with the other planets during this moon. And then the 49, people whose principles may either cause them to reject or be rejected. But here's what the channel of synthesis means. Your life is a constant lesson in sensitivity. To balance your own needs with those around you while holding fast to your own principles. Your potential gift is to be recognized as someone who can always balance practicality and fairness. There is a mystical keynote to this channel. It's called the channel of animism, the harvest and the slaughter. It's also known as the channel of communal ritual, a design of psychic potential through sensitivity. The channel of animism, it's also called the channel of the bride and the groom. It is in this channel that the correct strategy is laid down for entering into any kind of bond or contract with another person. Wow, these people are here to learn to be sensitive and to balance their own needs with the needs of others. They will put a lot of effort into a bond, and they can be acutely sensitive or insensitive depending on the emotional wave. This is an emotional projected channel, which means that ideally these people have to be recognized by others before entering into their relationships. They must allow time and space for a natural courtship to develop so they can be emotionally clear before making any commitment. This is what this moon is asking us for. As the root of the stream of touch, people with this channel demand close contact with others. Depending on whether the emotional wave is up or down, they may want a hug or they may want to hit. This channel is also rooted in food, environment, and community. Such people need to eat together with others regularly. Food is of great importance to them. So again, the tribal circuitry is really turned on, but the two channels they're activating the solar plexus, which is emotions, which means that the emotional wave is influencing us, all of us, collectively. And it's been for a while because the notes have been in 4037 for a minute. And the 4037, the channel of community, is a design of a part seeking a whole. It's like we want to belong somewhere. We want to like have a community. But we need to make sure that we're entering into, these situations with clarity. This is very, very interesting energy. I'm curious as to what you guys think. I haven't looked at the comments because I'm so focused on going over the information here. But let me click back to here real quick, and so I can check out what you guys are saying in the chat. Okay. Hello, Lish. Welcome in. Hello, Anita. There we go. Hello, Anslin. Oh my, I haven't been here in over a year. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm going to do the Moon Goddess for the second time. Seriously? Yes. My birthday is February 14th. Huge month for me and us all. Oh my God. Wow, you're turning 50. Wow. Happy birthday. How freaking cool. We've missed you too. Then she's so sweet. Highly recommend the Moon Goddess training. It was so epic that I'm doing it again. I love it. And you're in Bali. Wow. Yeah, all three for the price of two. Yeah. Hello, Noelle. Hey, Jai, nice to catch you live. Hello, good to see you. You haven't even looked at what Kia? Yeah. That's your Venus? Or your Venus is on Leah Kish? Yeah. Yeah, the Leah Kish energy is so beautiful. It's a stop codon. Yeah, it's like full stop. Full stop. Lisa says she has the 13th gate and the channel of the prodigal. Okay, so this energy is highlighting that for you. Yeah, it is just like there's so much magic in all of this, you guys. It's incredible. So here is what I would like to do now. So I want to dive into like the magic of the city of this 33rd gene key. So again, this gene key goes from the shadow of forgetting to the gift of mindfulness to the city of revelation. 33 is a cool number, you know. I remember when I did Matthias's episode, like with me, it was like we were on the 33rd episode and he's got this one. I think this one's his life work or something. The Final Revelation. Okay. So the gift or the city of revelation is called divine closure. Ooh. So we're going to learn all about what this energy is inviting us into. Ready? The 3 great stages of human awakening are captured here within the ring of trials and the 3 stop codons in your DNA. The first stage, represented by the shadow of forgetting, is the realization that you are in hell, or in the words of the Buddha's first noble truth, all life is suffering. The second stage, represented by the 56th shadow of distraction, is the process through which your suffering is gradually transcended. The third and final stage, represented by the 12th shadow of vanity, is the confrontation with the true nature of self. As you rise into higher and purer frequencies, the secrets of the higher realms are revealed sporadically into your lower nature, and over time, your physical DNA begins to mutate to accommodate these higher frequency wavelengths. Once your DNA has mutated to a sufficient degree to handle these higher frequencies permanently, it is ready to receive the full force of the Siddhic realms. When the 33rd city dawns, all that you were is forgotten, and all that you could be is remembered. The fullness of the Siddhic state causes time to disintegrate and memory along with it. It is not that you lose your physical memory, rather, your mind can no longer interfere with the purity of consciousness, which flushes the sanskaras out of your whole being. With no direct connection to the past or the future, there is now only infinite time, a concept that cannot possibly be grasped in words. Revelation is a flood. Since the beginning of human culture, there have been beliefs and myths that once, long ago, a civilization existed, a golden age in which utter harmony ruled and there was peace on earth. Those same myths also relate that when this age came to an end, humanity forgot how to love and be in harmony with life. Thus, our existence was erased by a great deluge or flood that swept the world clean, leaving but a handful of survivors. I was just telling my brother about this. Mythology holds many hidden secrets. Above all else, such myths conceal the hidden codes in pictorial form. Every myth has arisen directly out of the human genetic code, which contains all mysteries in its primal links. This is why the great sages have guided us to look within ourselves for the kingdom of heaven. The myth of the flood or deluge, whether partially based on historical fact or not, is a deep symbol within the human psyche, the symbol of revelation. After the flood, there's always a sign, a dove, a rainbow, the symbol of a new world. The flood itself is a memory of our own future. I'm getting chills. Its existence testifies that we will each one day be washed clean by the overwhelming tsunami of consciousness, and that your experience as a separate individualized creature will one day end. Thus, revelation brings an end to endings. It ends all myths, it ends evolution, and it ends humanity. When revelation comes, the universe itself will disappear. You cannot really say that a new world will appear out of the old one because time itself will dissolve. Therefore, all words, thoughts, and symbols will also disappear, since they depend upon time for existence. Out of revelation comes true silence. The beings manifesting this city have nothing whatsoever to say. And if they do speak, it is to say there is nothing whatever to say. There are many amusing ways to say this. Of course, this city is also about remembering. It is literally, as the word suggests, remembering, to enter into all separate members of your greater body until you realize there is only one of everything. True remembering is a kind of detonation inside you, a flash flood that wipes out your past and reveals the greatest mystery of all, the mystery of the eternal now. Apart from the obvious enlightenment that comes with every Siddhic state of consciousness, there are other natural manifestations of this city. The one who is swept away by the 33rd city also brings a sense of closure to the world. The presence of this city in the world signifies the end of an era or epoch. What? True revelations always emerge at natural end times in human history, and they often leave behind strange sounding prophecies about the next age. The city is also known as a great revealer of hidden secrets. It releases unique secrets through its vehicles into the collective consciousness. Because of its unusual status in this regard, it can also be said to have an archetypal connection to evolutions beyond human consciousness, such as the angelic kingdoms. Every stop codon in our DNA precedes a start codon of another strand of interlinked code. Even though we may talk of evolution coming to an end, there are kingdoms that exist beyond our concept of evolution. The 33rd city is an access portal to these higher and wider realities that begin where you, the human being, come to an end. Whenever we discuss the Siddhic consciousness, we find ourselves in a world riddled with paradox. From the point of view of the ultimate, there is no world, no evolution, and no point of view. However, the human vehicles that awaken to the Siddhic level always release something unique into the collective consciousness of humanity before they die. And this something always contributes to the evolution of human consciousness. In other words, even though the story has ended for such beings, their awakening fits into and contributes to the story of humanity. They too are players in the great drama, and they must play their roles before they leave, even though they know there is no one to leave and no one to leave and nowhere to go. This is the testament of the 64 cities. Each city is still a limited expression of the infinite. The 33rd city actually reveals the individual and collective mythology of enlightenment. Enlightenment itself evolves. Even though the state remains absolute, the means by which humanity awakens as a totality has its own storyline within the Maya. By opening us up to higher realities and angelic frequencies that lie beyond our physical DNA, the 33rd city accelerates the evolution of human consciousness. This is such a paradox because the Siddhic consciousness knows that higher consciousness and even notions such as frequency are themselves illusion. Human DNA does have miraculous qualities hidden inside that are activated by the Siddhic frequencies, but it also has its limitations. Other vehicles exist beyond the binary code of DNA, and they exist in higher dimensions in what we call the subtle bodies. Thus, the great cosmic drama unfolds, and every individual moves through progressive revelations before arriving at the ultimate revelation. The consciousness within form always has a storyline to follow. The trick is to fall in love with your own story and follow it without holding anything back. Two things are then assured. Firstly, you will arrive at the story's end. And secondly, your own story will be utterly unique and unlike anyone else's. And this is why it can be so distracting for you to hear someone else's story about how they attained an enlightened state, or what disciplines or teachings they followed in order to reach that state. The truth is that nothing you do or don't do changes when and how you reach the ultimate. You simply have to have faith in your own storyline. This is also why it is so rare for humans to attain those states. There's no one to follow. The path is virgin and wild. And when your revelation finally dawns, it does so without you even being there. Okay, that was a little crazy. But this is what I got from this. This moon is encouraging us, right, to remember something deeper about humanity itself. As that happens, humanity begins to awaken. But the ultimate truth that the deepest way you're going to integrate this is to just live out your own story, is to trust your own storyline, like it just said, is to just be you, which is actually really cool because this is something that I teach about this. Like, I teach people to know themselves, their own unique selves, their own unique design. Because when you live aligned by your design, you are living in the truest form of you. And it is unique. So I don't know. What do you guys think? That was quite profound. I want to read from what I wrote in Seasons and Stargates book last year. And about this full moon, to leave us with a little message. Revolution is upon us. There is no hiding from its mutative force. Yet there is something we are forgetting. And this full moon is here to remind us of what that is. In order for the new human being to arrive on the planet, we need to remember who we are. Just like Simba in the movie The Lion King. We cannot take our place in the world if we don't know who we are. We have forgotten our power, our heart, the passion that drives us each and every day. When the world gets cold, we need more and more people to open their heart. We live in the world that is transitioning, and we find ourselves in the middle of that transition. Fighting against it is not the answer. The full moon guides us into the space of the subconscious where we can encounter the truth that lies hidden beneath the surface. We usher in eclipse season with the full light of the sun reflecting to us from the power of the emotions. The only way forward is to know and acknowledge the past. The only way to not repeat mistakes is to know and be aware of them. This is a time of deep internal reflection that requires you to hermit your way through deeper understanding. This is not a time to rush, but to give time and space for the natural unfoldment of right resonance with others. We are getting ready to find where we belong, but right now we must court and dance with life. The best thing you can do is to surrender to the experience and trust that you will understand the meaning when the experience is over. For now, you are meant to just be in it. I love these little messages. They're super fun. So, there you go. Full Moon Leo. Alessa says, this is so powerful. I know. Anslin is an Aquarius and double evil. Double evil. She's feeling this big. 33 has been prevalent number for me for over the last month, of course. This feels huge for the collective. It does. It does. And for me, it aligns in such a way that I'm left with the feeling of awe. Yeah. And wonder. Yes. It's almost like you can't quite grasp it, but you're like, wow. Okay. There it is, you guys. So the energy is like getting bigger and bigger. Like the message is arriving, you know, the revelation is arriving. That's what's happening. So take it in, breathe it in, breathe it in. I think this full moon is going to be freaking epic. I can't freaking wait. I love Leo energy. Let's fucking go. Eclipse season, here we come. You're spectacular. I love you so much. I love you too, Lish. Thank you. And yeah, here we go. The journey begins. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. I'm going to be live on Sunday, earlier in the day than normal, because we're doing our group ritual for Imbolc, which we didn't even talk about, but this full moon is landing exactly on Imbolc, which is the celebration of the Earth awakening. We are going to be exactly halfway between the winter and the spring. Like, what? I know. You're just going to have to get used to it. The time's just going to keep flying. That's also happening. Come join us in the Starseed membership. You get a week free, and then it's $22 a month, because we gather together multiple times a month to talk about the energy of the season, to just talk about how we're doing. And when these special Celtic holidays come up, we come together and we do like card readings together. It's like super fun. It's like a fun club to be a part of. So we're doing that Sunday evening in the Starseed membership. And then so earlier in the day, I think like 1 p.m. or something, I'm going to be going live and doing the Leo full moon broadcast here on YouTube, where we do the Akashic reading and then I play songs. I've also been going live every day on Instagram. I don't know if you've noticed. I had 10 days of sacred songs. Today's day 9. I'm going to go live after this on Instagram and play some music if you want to come hang out over there. And tomorrow will be day 10, and then we land right on the full moon. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Please check out all the links below. Come join us in the Moon Goddess Training. I can't freaking wait. It's going to be amazing. And come join us for our Your Hero's Journey workshop, where we're going to learn everything about Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, and the Great Conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries, and how it's going to be affecting us collectively. And I'll show you how to find it in your chart and what that means. So that is happening February 15th, but you can sign up for it now, and it's just $44. All right, Satnam, love you guys. I will see you on Instagram in a few minutes. Peace.
Before time was measured, before the world became loud, there was a remembering written in your soul. A remembering of who you are, beneath the roles, the striving, the forgetting. There comes a time when the veil thins and the old ways of living no longer fit. You feel it as a pull, a quiet ache, a knowing that something ancient within you is ready to awaken. This is the path of alignment. Alignment is not effort, it is remembrance. When you align, your intuition sharpens like a flame, your energy settles into your body, your life begins to move in rhythm with the unseen. The Moon Goddess Training is a sacred initiation into this remembrance. Through the Akashic records, the timeless field of soul memory, you journey beyond time and space into the ancient temples of the Nile. As you enter them, something within you unlocks. Layers dissolve, old wounds soften, your inner sight opens. You remember how to listen, how to trust, how to move through life, guided rather than forced. This is the return of the aligned woman, rooted in her body, open in her heart, clear in her knowing. She no longer searches outside herself, she remembers the way. If your soul is listening now, this is your invitation. The Moon Goddess training begins soon, and the path opens the moment you say yes.